Okay. I know that was a quick little ride, but you know, I had to do it before I forgot. So then Sunday, probably after I work, I'm gonna do it. Obviously, it's gonna be after I get home, but oh fuck, I mean, oh well. I put all my paracord shit away this morning, all the shit that I threw on the floor next to the dog bed in my room. And I was like, I got a full blue in here I could use to in my drawer system that I could use to make something else, but I completely forgot I had blue. So I could have used blue and not blue. Yeah, I could have, but I don't know. Could have done blue and orange to do one of the whips that I for that set I just did. You know, because I used that thicker stuff that Dollar Tree has right now to do one. That is why I don't ride with little kids, because they're gonna obviously be really fucking annoying, but also they're like, well, you're supposed, my mom says you should be wearing a helmet, blah blah blah. I said, well, your mom can tell me it to my face, so I don't want to laugh at her in her face and tell her. I'm 25, I make my own decisions. I should be wearing a helmet when I drink and ride my bike. I'm sober. She's like, well, you should be protecting your head all the time. I said, listen, I had concussions. I had head injury, blows to my head, you know, from the concussions. I've only had one, but still. I'm living the rest of my life with fucking head trauma. You know, the doctor, because I was in middle school, 7th grade to be exact. Fucking move over, you idiot. You know, 7th grade to be exact. Not the one fucking hog in the road. You know, I was in 7th grade. I think it was toward, you know, mid to end of the year. You know, later, mid-year. You know, I actually think it's starting to warm up, so it might have been about March. So it was probably about middle of the second half of the year. In middle school. And I ended up getting a fucking migraine. Like it was, like I never had a migraine before. I've always just had headaches before this. So I go to school one day, you know, probably middle of the second half of the year, like I said. And get a migraine. I was in 4th hour. I had 3 hours to go. I had a migraine. I couldn't talk right. I was slurring my speech. I couldn't see straight. I had Mr. Pierman for social studies. I had him 4th hour. And we're watching like a student news thing or a movie or whatever it was. A video, or even, you know, even a video. I forget what it was. I think it might have been the CNN student news thing. Yeah, we're watching the CNN student news thing. And I go up to him, I said, hey, I'm sorry, I gotta go home. He's like, why? I said, because I'm got a headache. I think it's going to be becoming a migraine. I'm not too sure if it's a migraine. This is my first one that I've ever had. Because I'm, you know, starting to slur on when I talk, and I can't see straight, and you know, the sound from the video, it was making my head pound. So I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go. I know I need to be, you know, I know I understand this is important, but it's either I go through the rest of the fucking day with a migraine, you know, or I'm gonna snap on somebody and hold on, and they're not gonna like me, and I'm probably gonna be going down to the office. I'm gonna see what that black thing is. Because if it's something I can just... Oh, it's like an old string or something. Something that I can't use. It would have been a whole string out of took it, but it's just like... I don't know how to explain it. Like, piece of the string, piece of the rope or whatever it was got hooked on something and it pulled 6/8 strands out or whatever. So I don't know. So he's like, okay, I'll give you a hall pass. You can go grab your, you know, I'll give you a hall pass. You can grab your stuff and go. You know, so I go to my locker, throw all my shit in. You know, like I couldn't even think straight, so I don't even remember if I went to my locker. So I called Mom. I get down to the fucking front desk, you know, or you call, you know, or you come in if you're late or whatever. And I go and I said, hey, I gotta go home. I'm not feeling 100%. And the lady that was sitting at the desk at the time was like, what's going on? I said, I think I'm getting a headache, you know, a really bad headache, you know, like a migraine or something. And I can't think straight. I can't see right. Like, I'm really dizzy. My speech is getting bad at this point. So I said, is it okay if I use my actual cell phone to call my mom, because I can't think, you know, my mind, you know, I can't think right now. You know, and at this point I'm in fucking tears because my head hurts so bad. Pay attention, you're driving. You know, it's the first time I've seen somebody use that road. You know, because I told her I can't think straight to dial my mom's phone number right now. She's like, yeah, go ahead. So I go, you know, I still think enough to call her, like, you know, and I'm crying at this point, talking to her over the fucking phone. She's like, dude, what's wrong? I can tell you're crying. I said, my head hurts so freaking bad right now. It's pounding. I can't take it. I need to go home. She's like, well, give me, you know, 15, 20 minutes or whatever. I'll be there. I said, I'll be sitting by the front door or whatever, by the auditorium. Or whatever, wherever it was. And she's like, okay. And then she came in. I'm sitting on the bench. There's a bench right there too that I sat down on so I didn't fall over, because I was, like I said, I was real dizzy. And she's like, dude, she gets there, she's like, so, okay, run me through what's going on. I said, you know, I told her, like I said over the phone, Mom, I'm real dizzy, my head's pounding, it hurts, I can barely talk straight, I can barely even think straight right now because my head hurts so bad. I don't know if it's a really bad headache or a migraine. And she's like, yeah, it sounds like you got a migraine. You know, my whole head hurt, especially right behind my eyes. So that's, like, you know, I think we're, you know, a sign that's a migraine. Because I told her that